I'd like to welcome onto the stage Shri Suresh Prabhu, Honorable former Cabinet Minister of Railways, Commerce and Industry, Government of India. Let's please welcome him to the stage with a big round of applause.
Good evening, friends. So it's very happy and heartening to note that there are so many of you who are excelled in such a diverse fields of activities from different parts of the world, though many are from India. So India itself is like a subcontinent, so many different parts of the country have done so well that you deserved an award at such an important function. So let me congratulate you all for doing so well, and I'm sure this itself will motivate you to do even more as you go along. I know there are a lot of interesting persons, including, I wish he could sing more so it could have lightened heart and would have made us more happy. He was just telling me he has had 27,000 songs in as many languages that one can think of. But one good part of his voice is that probably the language is not necessary to understand it. Your heart will feel it. Ears will obviously enjoy the music, heart will feel it, so language is not important. But still you have done that. So you know the language of love, you know the language of pleasure, and therefore you really have entertained so many of us. So I will just once congratulate the organizer, because this event is called Indo-Arab. These are the very two important geographies, India and Arab world. These are the very two important ethnicities. One of the closest relations that India and Arab world has shared goes back to few centuries. In fact, if there was no such interaction between Arabs and India, probably the world will not be as rich as it is today. In terms of culture, in terms of trade, in terms of ideas, and in terms of growth. So therefore, there is a very, very important relationship between these two geographies. In fact, if you really look at it, there was a long time, Indian rupee was a currency in this part of the world, for a long time. Till recently, even UAE used to use, where UAE was born a little later, we used to use rupee here. Even in Oman, rupee was a currency. So Arabs came to India, firstly also because of spice trade and many other reasons, and eventually the relationship grew so strong that today we feel that this is one brotherhood between Indians and Arabs can actually show the way for the world as to how to have a peaceful coexistence. Because at the time, we are right now sitting in a place and next door there is a lot of turmoil. And therefore we want to make sure that everybody in this planet should be able to live peacefully. And for peaceful coexistence, one is how to look at future, but what guides you to go to the future is your past. If you have made a mistake in the past, you should correct it. If you have learned something from the past, you should repeat it. And that is something that one should learn from this relationship between Indians and Arabs. Because we have such a long relationship, that's why we can go back to the past and say we survived there, why not we make it better now? And therefore, it's a time we should try to develop new technologies today. This morning, I am by training a chartered accountant like Mr. Chaturvedi who is here. In the morning I was speaking about artificial intelligence to a very large gathering. I was the chief guest for that event. Just the day before, I was in Sharjah, and I was so impressed that Sharjah has such a fantastic parliament. I spoke to the members of parliament, the elected members of parliament. Yesterday I was in Abu Dhabi, and I met so many of my old friends, including many important dignitaries from the government. And I could see everybody talking about this strong relationship that we must build now to shape the future. And that's why this particular event, Indo-Arab Leaders Summit and Awards, is very important. Those of you who got awards should try to do more here, besides doing what you are doing in India already. And you can also look at, from here, you can look at rest of the world. When I was the Commerce and Industry Minister, that is mentioned, I had 10 different cabinet positions, but you have mentioned Commerce and Industry. I just saw that. So we had actually laid the foundation for a very comprehensive economic partnership between India and UAE, which is very unique. If you do something in India, you can export it here without duty. If you make something in UAE, you can actually export back to India without duty. And just imagine such a close proximity we are living in. In fact, the coast of so many of our ports are very close to the UAE. Sometimes I say if you shout here very loudly, you can hear in India. So that close our proximities, and therefore this is a huge opportunity for trade and commerce, for professionals like doctors, engineers, chartered accountants, architects. They also have a great emerging new opportunities coming up. So I'm sure this award will really motivate you all, and I'm sure this will be the new beginning, a new chapter that will be drawn in this very close, important, precious relationship between India and UAE. So I wish you all the best. Congratulations to all the winners. And again, I'm sure this is not the only song that you heard. We'll hear many more. 27,000 will go to probably 100,000, 100,000, 1 lakh more as we go along. And I'm really look forward to doing that. Thank you very much.